Smith and Head drive England toward a defining Ashes defeat. As the Ashes series edged toward its conclusion, one truth became increasingly clear. England's hopes were slipping away under the weight of two relentless Australian batters. Steve Smith and Travis Head, very different in style but united in purpose, combined to tilt the balance decisively in Australia's favour. Their partnership did more than add runs to the scoreboard. It drained belief from England and reinforced Australia's long-standing authority in the contest. This was not simply a story of numbers or milestones. It was about control, patience, and timing. In a series where England had promised bold tactics and aggressive intent, Smith and Head responded with clarity and execution, reminding everyone why the Ashes remain a brutal test of skill and temperament. The context, a series on the edge. Coming into the final stages of the series, England were already under pressure. Moments of promise had been undone by inconsistency, particularly with the ball and in the field. While their batting showed flashes of aggression and innovation, it often lacked the discipline required to dominate against a seasoned Australian attack. Australia, on the other hand, approached the match knowing that calm accumulation and experience could finish the job. With the series finally poised but momentum leaning their way, they needed senior players to step up. Smith and Head answered that call emphatically. Steve Smith, the relentless constant. Steve Smith's presence at the crease has long been a source of frustration for England, and this innings followed a familiar pattern. He did not rush. He did not chase the crowd. Instead, he absorbed pressure, left the ball well, and punished anything even slightly off target. What made Smith's performance particularly damaging was his ability to stall England's plans. Bowlers rotated, fields shifted, and tactics evolved, yet he remained unmoved. Singles were taken at will, boundaries arrived through precision rather than power, and long spells passed without England making a breakthrough. Smith's method may not always look conventional, but it is devastatingly effective. By occupying the crease for extended periods, he forced England into long, draining spells. Fatigue crept in, concentration dipped, and suddenly the bowlers were searching for inspiration rather than executing plans. Travis Head controlled aggression at the perfect moment. If Smith represented endurance, Travis Head brought momentum. Head's role in the innings was just as significant, though very different in nature. Where Smith accumulated, Head accelerated. His intent was clear from early on: put pressure back on the bowlers and disrupt their rhythm. Head's aggression was measured rather than reckless. He targeted specific bowlers, identified scoring errors, and capitalized on loose deliveries. His ability to turn singles into boundaries shifted the tempo of the match and forced England to spread the field, opening up further opportunities. Crucially, Head's attacking approach complemented Smith's stability. England could not settle into a holding pattern because Head kept forcing decisions. Defensive fields became risky, while attacking fields left gaps. This constant tactical tension wore England down. The partnership that broke resistance. Together, Smith and Head formed a partnership that defined the match. It was not just the volume of runs they scored, but the manner in which they scored them. England were denied momentum at every turn. A good over was followed by a boundary. A tight spell ended with rotation of strike that reset pressure. Partnerships like this are psychologically damaging. Bowlers begin to question their plans. Captains hesitate between aggression and containment. Fielders lose sharpness. England, despite their energy and intent, could not find a way through. Missed chances and half opportunities only added to the sense of inevitability. Each over that passed without success felt heavier than the last, and by the time the partnership was broken, the damage had already been done. England struggles with the ball. England's bowling effort was not without effort, but it lacked the cutting edge required at this level. There were spells of discipline and moments where pressure built, yet they were rarely sustained long enough to force mistakes. Inconsistent lengths prove costly. On surfaces offering limited assistance, precision becomes everything, and even small errors were punished. England also struggled to adapt quickly when their initial plans failed, often persisting with approaches that were no longer effective. The absence of early breakthroughs meant that Smith and Head could settle in, and once that happened, England's task became exponentially harder. Tactical questions and missed opportunities. This match also raised broader questions about England's approach. Their commitment to attacking cricket has brought excitement and success in patches, but against an opponent as composed as Australia, it also carries risks. Field placements occasionally appeared reactive rather than proactive. Bowling changes came, but often after the momentum had already shifted. At times, England seemed caught between sticking to their philosophy and responding pragmatically to the situation in front of them. Against players like Smith, who thrive on predictability, adaptability is crucial. England showed glimpses of it, but not enough to turn the tide. Australia's experience shines through. Australia's strength in this match lay not just in individual brilliance, but in collective understanding. Smith and Head knew their roles, trusted their methods, and executed with confidence. There was no panic, no rush to dominate immediately, just steady pressure applied over time. This is where experience counts. Australia have played and won in these moments before, and that history shows in how they manage key phases of a match. When opportunities arise, they take them. When patience is required, they embrace it. What this means for the Ashes. With England pushed toward a final Ashes loss, the series leaves behind lessons as much as results. For Australia, the performance reinforces their depth and resilience. They have proven once again that they can absorb pressure and respond decisively through their senior players. For England, the defeat invites reflection. The ambition and positivity are clear, but refinement is needed. Converting pressure into wickets, maintaining discipline over long spells, and adapting tactics in real time remain areas for growth. The Ashes have always been about more than just winning or losing. They are about identity, resilience, and the ability to rise under scrutiny. In this match, Smith and Head embodied those qualities, steering Australia toward a result that felt increasingly inevitable with every passing session. A familiar Ashes story, told anew. In many ways, this match followed a familiar Ashes script, England fighting hard, Australia staying calm, and key moments being seized by those most equipped to handle them. Smith and Head did not just score runs, they controlled the narrative. As the final stages unfolded, England were left chasing shadows, while Australia moved steadily toward another chapter of Ashes success. It was a reminder that in cricket's greatest rivalry, execution under pressure still matters more than intent alone.